The Flow Friday Night Sports Show continues on. Our podcast is up as well. If you've missed any part of the show tonight, you can get it on demand, Ellis.
Yeah, it's the audio age, and we're very much following suit here at Flow.
Indeed, with your interview before, Tony Sage, that's up there at the moment, getting shared around on social media at the moment too, which we like. Also, of course, don't forget the replay tomorrow morning. It's Saturday morning. If you miss any part of the show, you'll hear it again in between 8 and 10 on Saturday morning. And let's talk basketball now. Dan Crouch from Flow News 24 is our basketball guru. And you've penned an article for the website on the Aussies in the NBA and how they're going. And, let's get into it now. Let's start with Ben Simmons. He is a star.
He certainly is, and he's recently been named an All-Star for the third time, which is pretty remarkable considering he's only in his fourth year in the league. So really remarkable effort for him, and he's just having an incredible season. The 76ers are a far better outfit than they were last year, and his improvement is no small part of that. He's been one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. His offensive game has just gone from strength to strength. He's looking to score more often. Recently had a career-high 42 points, and things are just getting better and better for Ben Simmons and the 76ers. So we'll see how far he and Joel Embiid can go this season. But things are looking really good for Ben Simmons at the moment.
They are. Paddy Mills has tasted championship success off the bench before. I think at the moment, Paddy Mills might just be the best bench player in the game.
He's certainly up there. He probably won't win the Sixth Man of the Year, but he should definitely get some consideration for it. 13 points and nearly 3 assists per game off the bench with really efficient shooting numbers as well is pretty sensational. And earlier in the year, he surpassed Andrew Bogut to become Australia's all-time leading scorer in the NBA. So really proud moment for him, really great moment for the fans at home because he's really one of Australia's most beloved athletes overseas.
Absolutely is, and he is a star, as is Joe Ingles, who just goes about his job with the Jazz, who are, well, how well have they been going this year? He just cruises along and gets it done every week.
He certainly does. Slow-mo Joe, they call him, because he's not the most athletic bloke out there, but he gets the job done. And, like you said, the Jazz, comfortably the best record in the NBA. They don't look like losing to anyone at the moment. They're consistently winning games by double digits, just crushing opponents. And, Joe Ingles is a really big part of that. He does everything on both ends of the floor, and he's really been a catalyst in their culture turning around the last few years and becoming a winning franchise and a franchise that people are interested in and that people want to support. So, it's been a really good few years for Joe Ingles in the NBA, and this year's been no exception.
Yep.
Dan, I'll tell you who does look like losing to someone. That's the New Orleans Pelicans. They're currently losing to the Bucks at the moment. They got up yesterday against the Pistons from Detroit. Tell us how you see their season panning out.
Yeah, the Bucks are looking average at the moment. I mean, they've been one of the powerhouses the last couple of years and just haven't quite got it done in the playoffs. Their roster's looking a little bit thinner this year than it has been. They're still getting plenty of wins on the board, and we can all still expect them to go pretty deep into the playoffs. But they're not looking as strong as they have lately. And as for the Pelicans, they're a team on the rise. They're looking really strong, led by second-year player Zion Williamson, who was also named to the All-Star team, his first All-Star selection.
A lot of points getting scored in these games recent times as well. And back to the Aussies in the NBA, though. Aaron Bain's my favourite, boys. Love this guy. He just beats people up for fun. I like it. Tell us about him.
He does. Big Baines. He is an imposing unit. Unfortunately, not the best year for Aaron Baines. He's getting a bit older, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that he has taken a bit of a step backwards. But after a real breakout year last year where he added a three-point shot without really losing anything else from his game, it's been unfortunate to see him play a bit of a different role in Toronto this year where we thought he might fill a really big hole for them, losing Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka in the offseason. But nevertheless, he's playing okay. He's rebounding well. He's defending hard. He's still getting the job done. And Toronto are on the rise rapidly after a really slow start.
I can't forget his battle with Steph Curry in the finals a few years ago. Matty Dellavedova, we love him. He talk about beating people up for fun. He kind of did in that playoff series. But he's still getting around back at the Cavs now after having been traded for a period and come back. but he's coming off the bench these days, and he is getting on a bit now.
Yeah, that's it. That was a battle to remember, Delhi versus Steph Curry back in 2015. That was just absolutely unbelievable. Unfortunately, Delhi's yet to log a minute this season in the NBA. He's had a pretty bad run of luck. Got a concussion in the preseason from which he was unable to return at any point. Was having some pretty bad symptoms in the aftermath of that. And then more recently had to have his appendix removed, which obviously isn't ideal for anyone. So he's been out of action, but hopefully he can get back on the court soon. The Cavs are a young team. He won't be playing a super big role for them, but his veteran presence and his leadership will be really big for them. So hopefully he can get back and be a leader for them soon.
What about the other Aussies? Tell us about who else is going around and how they're tracking.
Well, we've got Matisse Thybal playing bench role for the 76ers. Matisse is only really half Australian, but we claim him as our own. He's in the Boomers squad for the upcoming Olympics, so we'll definitely claim him.
That makes him Aussie.
Definitely. Absolutely terrorising defender. Forms a great duo with Ben Simmons on the perimeter there in Philly, but leaves a bit to be desired in his offensive game. We've got Dante Exum playing for the Rockets at the moment. Hasn't made his debut for Houston yet. Was one of the extended parts of the James Harden mega blockbuster trade back in January. So he'll have a role for the Rockets when he is healthy. So hopefully that's sooner rather than later. And for Dallas, rookie Josh Green has seen a little bit of opportunity, but has mostly been riding the bench, paying his dues, and we can expect him to play a little bit more in the G League as he develops into a better player for the Mavericks. All
right, check out that article up on Flow News 24 right now. That's flownews24.com.au. Ellis, you been following the NBL at all?
Here and there. Often there's a game spontaneously being covered on pay TV on a random weeknight, so I'll tune in.
Flicking between the A-League, of course. And,
absolutely.
What's going on there? Latest run for the 36 is not so good. They went down to Melbourne United, who beat them by 9 points. And look, if we have a look at the table at the moment, just quickly, and we'll talk more about the NBL next week, Melbourne United comfortably on top of the ladder at the moment, and the 36ers have really slid. They're back down to 6th on the ladder. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are on the up, and look at the Sydney Kings and the Wildcats bounce back after slow starts. So we're pretty much where we thought we would be, I would imagine, Dan, other than the Hawks.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get a read on just about anyone at the moment. I mean, you've got the Sixers have played 12 games, you've got the Wildcats and the Breakers have only played 7, the Bullets 8. So it is a bit all over the shop. You can't read too much into the standings just yet, but as for the Sixers, they are a chance to play finals. It would be a long shot. They certainly weren't considered a great chance to play finals at the start of the year, but they're sitting here at 6-6. They've had a couple of wins over Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who are level with them on percentage at 5-5. So yeah, anything could happen really, but we'll be cheering hard for the Sixers to at least make the playoffs and see if they can make any noise from there.
Games to come this weekend. It should be very, very interesting viewing. The Bullets and the Hawks. I think the Hawks will win that, but Taipans and the Wildcats will be favourites there, but I'm looking forward to Melbourne United tomorrow taking on the Sydney Kings. The Breakers and the 36ers, the Sixers just have to win that. And then the other big game of the weekend is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix against the surging Illawarra Hawks, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're spot on about that Sixers-Breakers game. That's the one they really need to win. Breakers sitting pretty low on the ladder. If they can win that one, push their way up the standings a bit more and keep pushing for that final spot.
Dan, good stuff, mate. Hang around. We've got plenty still to come here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.